Girl with a Pearl Earring. This iconic trony, painted around 1665, is perhaps the most famous example of Johannes Vermeer's ability to capture the fleeting translucency of light. Unlike a traditional portrait, a trony was an artistic study of a character or a type, and here Vermeer presents a young woman in an exotic turban, turning her head toward the viewer with a startlingly lifelike gaze. The focal point of the entire composition is the oversized pearl earring, which Vermeer rendered using only two simple, masterful strokes of lead-white paint to suggest the reflection of light on its polished surface. The girl's lips are slightly parted, as if she is about to speak, an effect enhanced by small dabs of white that create the illusion of moisture. Vermeer used a dark, minimalist background of deep green glazes over black to make the luminous skin tones and the vibrant blue of the turban leap forward. The soft modeling of her face was achieved through the subtle blending of oil paints, avoiding harsh outlines to mimic the way the human eye actually perceives light and shadow. This painting has become a global symbol of the Dutch Golden Age, celebrated for its technical perfection and the enduring mystery of the subject's identity. The Milkmaid. This powerful work, completed around 1658, is a masterclass in the elevation of a mundane domestic task into something monumental and timeless. It depicts a kitchen maid carefully pouring milk into a Dutch oven, her focus entirely absorbed by the steady stream of liquid. Vermeer used a technique called pointillé, applying tiny dots of bright paint to the surface of the bread and the ceramic jug to simulate the sparkle of natural light hitting textured surfaces. The color palette is dominated by a rich, expensive ultramarine blue in her apron and a vibrant lead tin yellow in her bodice, creating a sense of weight and physical presence. The lighting enters from a window on the left, casting soft shadows across the damp plaster wall and highlighting the rugged texture of the crusty bread on the table. Behind the woman, a row of Delft wall tiles and a foot warmer provide a glimpse into the everyday reality of a 17th century household. Vermeer's decision to paint a servant with such dignity and gravity was revolutionary, as he treated the act of pouring milk with the same reverence usually reserved for historical or religious subjects. The painting remains a testament to his obsession with the quiet beauty found in the ordinary. View of Delft. This cityscape is one of only two known landscapes by Vermeer, and is widely considered one of the greatest topographical paintings in the history of Western art. It offers a panoramic view of the artist's hometown from the south, capturing the city's walls, gates, and church towers reflected in the calm waters of the harbor. Vermeer utilized a sophisticated understanding of atmospheric conditions, painting the sky with heavy, billowing clouds that cast parts of the city into shadow, while allowing a burst of sunlight to illuminate the distant tower of the new church. This play of light creates an incredible sense of depth and three-dimensional space, drawing the viewer's eye across the water toward the intricate details of the brickwork and roof tiles. To achieve the shimmering effect on the hulls of the boats, he again employed small dots of light-colored paint, a technique that gives the image a vibrating, optical quality. The composition is perfectly balanced, with the horizontal lines of the city contrasting against the verticality of the spires. It is a deeply personal and nostalgic tribute to the place where Vermeer lived and worked his entire life, showing a world that is both physically solid and magically transformed by the shifting Dutch weather. The art of painting. This large and complex canvas is often seen as Vermeer's artistic manifesto, a visual argument for the high status of painting among the liberal arts. It shows an artist in his studio, viewed from behind, painting a young woman who poses as Cleo, the muse of history, identified by her laurel wreath, trumpet, and book. The room is filled with expensive items that showcase Vermeer's technical virtuosity, including a massive, intricately woven tapestry draped in the foreground that acts as a visual curtain into the scene. On the back wall hangs a large, detailed map of the 17 provinces, rendered with such precision that the individual geographic features are clearly legible. Vermeer used a sophisticated geometric construction to organize the space, ensuring that every element from the black and white marble floor to the heavy brass chandelier is perfectly positioned in perspective. The cool silver light that floods the room from an unseen window on the left unifies the composition, creating a sense of hushed, scholarly concentration. This painting was so important to Vermeer that he never sold it during his lifetime, keeping it in his home as a demonstration of his supreme skill in capturing light, texture, and allegorical meaning. Woman Holding a Balance. This serene and deeply symbolic painting depicts a young woman standing at a table in a darkened room, waiting for a handheld scale to come to a perfect rest. While she appears to be weighing gold or pearls, the scales are actually empty, suggesting that the painting is an allegory for the importance of leading a balanced and temperate life. Behind her on the wall hangs a large painting of the Last Judgment, which serves as a spiritual mirror to her earthly actions, reminding the viewer of the ultimate weighing of souls. The lighting is particularly delicate here, filtered through a yellow curtain that casts a warm, golden glow over the woman's face and her fur-trimmed jacket. Vermeer's use of negative space and the careful alignment of the woman's hand with the center of the composition creates a profound sense of stillness and meditation. The blue of her garment and the rich reds of the table covering provide a sophisticated color harmony that is characteristic of his mature style. By placing a scene of everyday domesticity within a broader moral and religious context, Vermeer invites the viewer to reflect on the relationship between material wealth and spiritual purity. It is one of his most psychologically refined works, capturing a moment of quiet, internal equilibrium. The Astronomer. This painting, along with its counterpart, The Geographer, represents Vermeer's fascination with the scientific advancements and the spirit of discovery that defined the Dutch Golden Age. It shows a scholar in a long blue robe leaning forward to rotate a celestial globe, his hand reaching out to grasp the knowledge of the heavens. The room is cluttered with the tools of his trade, including a book by Adrian Medius, open to a page advising researchers to seek inspiration from God, and a complex astrolabe on the table. Vermeer captures the intellectual intensity of the moment through the sharp, focused lighting that illuminates the astronomer's face and the textures of the heavy, bunched-up tapestry on the desk. The colors are predominantly cool blues and earthy browns, which contrast with the bright, white light reflecting off the scientific instruments. This work highlights the transition from traditional religious views to an era of empirical observation and mapping of the physical world. The precision with which Vermeer rendered the constellations on the globe demonstrates his own commitment to accuracy and his deep interest in the intellectual life of his contemporaries. It serves as a beautiful tribute to the human desire to understand the vast mysteries of the universe through study and light.